Hello everyone, myself Shweta Shah, Assistant Professor at LG Institute of Engineering and Technology, Computer Department. Here we are discussing subject Computer Organization and Architecture. We have started Unit 1, Computer Data Representation and Register Transfer and Microoperation. From this unit, in last session, we have discussed basic computer data types, complement and fixed point representation of number. Now in this session we are going to discuss about floating point representation of numbers and register transfer language. Okay, as we have seen in a last lecture, you can represent binary number in a fixed point representation numbers. Okay. Second method of representing data is floating point representation. Okay, in this method we are dividing this number into two parts, mantissa and exponent. For example, we have this number 6,132.789. To represent this number in fraction and exponent, or you can say mantissa and exponent part, we can say that this is a 0.61328789 into 10 raised to 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 10 raised to 4. So 4 will be our exponent and fractional part will be 0.61328789. Okay, the value of exponent indicates the actual position of decimal point is 4. Okay, and we can represent this number as m multiplied by r into e. R is our base. Okay, or you can say radix. Okay, to represent this floating point representation for a binary number, how this is for decimal number. So for binary number, how we can do? So for that you have to normalize the number. Okay, how you can normalize the number? If a floating point number is, we can say it is normalized if its most significant bit is 1. Okay, if its bit is 1, non-zero, that means 1. Okay, for example, if a decimal number is 350, okay, so it is a normalized form. But if you see that it is a 00035, so it is not in a normalized form because you have 3 zeros at a MSB bit. Okay, so first digit always should be a non-zero. Then and then you can say that this number is in a normalized form. Okay. Okay. Next, for binary numbers, how we can represent floating point numbers, we will see. For this representation, we are using 32-bit representation as an ANSI standard. ANSI 32-bit floating point number. It has a total 32-bit size. Length of this representation will be of 32-bit. In this, for 32-bit, that means you have 4 byte. 32 divided by 8, that is 4. So you have 4 byte. First byte will represent exponent, and second, third, and fourth byte will represent mantissa. Okay, as we have represent this number in form of mantissa, base, and exponent. Okay, so from this we have to represent this mantissa in second, third, and fourth byte, and exponent in a first byte, and this s bit. Okay, this first byte represent two things. First thing, that is exponent, and first bit of this byte, that is represented by s, that represents sign of the mantissa. Okay, we are always considering that here we have represented a positive version of that mantissa. Okay, but if it is negative, so we have to represent it as by its sign, but we are not representing sign over here. we are representing sign over here. Why? Because we have to use normalization. So this number after this point, or you can say binary decimal point, binary point, your first bit always should be 1. So you can't use this for a sign representation. So sign representation, you will use first bit of first byte. Okay, or you can say MSB bit of your first byte. Rest of the 7 bits represents exponent. Okay, if your exponent is a positive, then represent as it is. If your exponent is a negative, then represent in a 2's complement form. Here sign is represented for a mantissa only, but what if your exponent is negative? If your exponent is negative, you have to represent this in a 7-bit form with its equivalent 2's complement. Okay, so both of this negative is possible, exponent is also negative possible, and mantissa is also negative possible. For mantissa, you will use this sign bit, and for exponent, you will always represent this exponent in a 2's complement method. Okay, so for example, if you have a decimal number 30, okay, so you can represent this in a binary form as a 1101. Okay, and similarly, if you want to represent this in a form of m into r raised to e fraction, if you want to represent in a fraction and exponent, then you can represent it as a 0.1101 into 2 raised to 4. Okay, so to represent this number, our mantissa is over here 1101. Okay, so 1101 mantissa, second byte is showing mantissa, so 1101. What about rest of the bit? So rest of bits, we doesn't have any bit for them, so we will put as a simply 0. Okay, so now for exponent part, this mantissa has a sign positive, so sign bit will be 0, and exponent is a 4. That means you have to represent 4 in this 7 bit, that is equals to 001. Okay, and rest of the 4 bits will be 0 to represent in a 7-bit form. Okay, similarly for minus 17, your number is a negative. Okay, how you will represent it? By simply we can say minus 17 as a 10001. Okay, in form of exponent and fractional, we can represent it as a, by normalizing it, 0.10001 into 2 raised to 5. Why? Because we have shifted this binary point 5 times, so we have to multiply it by 2 raised to 5 to equate this number. Okay, so how you will represent this? Our mantissa is over here, so we will represent directly as a 10001, and rest of the bit we doesn't have anything, so we will put as a 0. And for exponent terms, we have to see first byte. In first byte, first bit shows sign bit, that is 1. Why? Because your number is a negative, so we will put as a 1. Then the rest of the 7-bit will represent this exponent. This exponent is a plus 5, so we will represent 5 in a 7-bit, that is equals to 4 times 0 and 101. So it is your floating point representation of minus 17. You are doing just a fixed, you are using just a fixed format, that is of 32-bit. First byte represents sign of mantissa and exponent. Second, third, and fourth byte represents normalized mantissa. Okay, so this is your floating point representation of any number. Okay, next thing is a register transfer language. In the internal hardware organization of digital computer, we can define it as a first thing, the set of register that contains that contains and their functions. Second thing, sequence of micro operations that are performed on binary information stored in a register. And third thing, provide the control for this. Okay, this micro operation. Okay, so here we have used word register. What is register? Register is just a combination of flip-flop to store your binary information. Okay, you can say computer register are generally design computer registers are generally represented by capital letters. For example, MAR, EC, IR, R1, R2, R3, anything. Okay. Here we are using specific letters and that has a specific meaning. For example, MAR, that is a memory address register which holds address of memory. PC, that is your program counter. IR, that is your instruction register. These are the different registers that will contains your binary information for a specific reason. For example, memory address register will contain your address. Program counter will hold your program sequence. Instruction register will hold your instruction. R1 will you hold your data. Okay, anything like that. For example, you have registered R1, and suppose we are considering that R1 is of 8 bit. That means it has a 8 different flip flop, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you can store total 8 bits over there. If your register is of 15 bit, then you can represent individual bit as a 0, 1, 2, 3 up to 15. You can also represent these registers into two parts, upper part and lower part. For example, you have program counter. Okay, and it is of 16 bit, so for 0 to 7 and 8 to 15 you can represent it as a two different register. PC low, that is your 0 to 7 bit, and PC high, that is your 8 to 15 bit. Okay, so you can represent any register by its capital letter R or anything that you want to use for as a symbol. Then you can represent it as a individual bits in a form of two parts, like upper part and lower part, as you wish. Okay, this is your register. Okay, next thing we will see is a micro operation. What we have said first, any digital system you can represent as a register, then micro operation done on that register, and third thing is a control for that operation. So what is this micro operation? Okay, the operation that are executed on data stored in register is called a micro operation. For example, addition of the register, subtraction of the registers contain, multiplication of the register contains, that are called the operation. But to complete this operation, you have to do some task. Okay, this some tasks are known as a micro operation. And these are the elementary operation performed on information stored in one or more register. The result of this operation may be stored into any of one register, or you can use also another register. Okay, for example, the basic micro operation, you can say shift, count, clear, load, okay, etc. This kind of operations you can perform. Okay, so next thing, register transfer language. We know what is register, that is just a 8-bit flip-flop or 16-bit flip-flop. Okay, then you have to do some operation that is called as a micro operation. But how you will represent this operation for that register? So you have to require some language, and that language is known as a register transfer language. Okay, the symbolic notation used to describe the micro operation transfer among the register is known as a register transfer language. Okay, the term register transfer implies the availability of hardware logic circuit that perform stated micro operation. For example, if we have said that we will do shift operation or we will do clear operation, so you have to have the hardware to perform that operation, or you have to activate that part of your hardware to perform that operation. So you can do that task by prescribing this operation. Okay, how you can do? By for this you are using different symbols. Okay, to represent this you are using different symbols. For example, you have two resistor R1 and R2, and you have to load content of resistor R1 to R2. So how you will represent this? By R1 and then R2 and then arrow. This will represent this content of R1 will be stored into R2. For example, you have R1 as a 1101, By performing this operation, all of the bits of register R1 will be stored into register R2. This one will be here, this 0 will be here, this one will be here, this one will be here. So in a loading operation, you are transferring bit by bit to its equivalent register. Okay, this is called the register transfer, or you can say just a loading operation, loading content of one register to another register. Okay, if you want to do this, here we doesn't have any condition to load this number to register R2. If you want to use any condition, for example, if P condition is fulfilled, if this condition is fulfilled, then its content will be 1, and only then you have to transfer content of register R1 to R2. So you can represent, this is representation is like your higher level language. Okay, but if you want to represent this in RTL, how you can represent? You can represent like this: P colon R2 given R1. R1, you have to transfer content of R1 to R2 only if condition P is fulfilled. R1, content of R1 is transferred to R2 only if this control circuit provides 1. Okay, so you can also use clock signals for that. For example, here if you have given 1, then only transfer will occur. Okay, so this kind of transfer is also possible. Different symbols used for a register transfer language are denoted over here. Letters will represent your register, arrow will represent transfer operations, parenthesis will represent your particular bit. As we have seen, we can represent any register in bits form. So you can represent like this: R2 0 to 7, that represents your register R2 with its bit 0 to 7. Similarly, if you want to represent sixth bit, so you can write as a R2 in bracket 6. That will show that you are using your sixth bit. Okay, and if you want to combine two micro operations at a time, then you can use comma. Okay, this will R1's content will be transferred into R2, and by that time R2's content will also transfer to R1. Comma will denote that these two operations will complete at a time. Okay, so in this COA, we will using this register transfer language to represent our different tasks. Okay, just a symbol arrow to transfer content from one register to another register, comma to combine different micro operations, parenthesis to represent particular bit, and capital letters to represent your register. Okay, so this is our today's lecture. We are concluding here.